Also tonight, bracing for a flood at the border. The Department of Homeland Security saying once Title 42 ends, there could be 14,000 crossings each day. Let's take a closer look at those projections. If there were between 9,000 and 14,000 each day, like DHS believes, that means there could be around 420,000 each month and more than 5 million by the end of next year. The Big Apple is already raising red flags about the expected influx. After the busing slowed down in the past few weeks, it's firing up again. 80 people arrived in Midtown Monday morning, and another 10 to 15 busloads of asylum seekers are set to come this week. That's putting pressure on the city's shelter system that's overflowing. In a press conference Monday, Mayor Adams said the city has already had a number of conversations with the state and federal government, but they seem to be, quote, ignoring him. Just weeks ago, the mayor shuttered the city's controversial tent city on Randall's Island, saying it wasn't necessary anymore, but that seems to have changed.
Nothing is off the table. We don't want to go back to what we had to use when there were a large influx, but leadership is doing difficult things. And whatever I need to do to ensure that we are dealing with a crisis, I'm going to do it in a humane way.
The tents were only open for 23 days before the mayor shut it down last November. The massive shelter was made to house 500 single male migrants who were being bussed up from the border. But according to the city, only 170 beds were used. Still, Mayor Adams declared the large tent structure a success, saying it was an example of good planning. Governor Hochul said New York State is deploying 700 National Guardsmen to help New York City deal with the crisis. In the meantime, other cities around the country are declaring a state of emergency. El Paso is one of them. Ed Lavandera has the latest.
El Paso's mayor says he's bracing for as many as 4,000 to 6,000 migrants to be released into the city per day if Title 42 is lifted on Wednesday.
And I really believe that today our asylum seekers are not safe, as we have hundreds and hundreds on the streets, and that's not the way we want to treat people.
City officials have started moving hundreds of migrants who were camping out around downtown area bus stations into hotels or newly opened shelter space.
We want to make sure that everyone's safe, and we know that the influx on Wednesday will be incredible. It will be huge.
Come on in, guys.
In the last week, we're told more than 1,000 migrants have found refuge inside the Family Center shelter in downtown El Paso.
This is Sara. She came from Ecuador with her husband. They've been traveling for 30 days.
She says the journey was brutal. Sara Romero, like almost every migrant we've spoken with, says they were kidnapped and held for days in Mexico until they paid their way out. Romero is one of the thousands who entered El Paso in the days leading up to the expected end of the public health policy known as Title 42, which allowed U.S. border officials to expel migrants nearly 2.5 million times since 2020.
They call it the asylum of the Southwest.
But El Paso officials know that spirit of compassion will be put to the test this week. County Judge Ricardo Samaniego says this area has never experienced a moment like this.
When and if Title 42 gets lifted on Wednesday, what is it going to look like here?
Everybody agrees that it's not sustainable, that there's nothing that we're doing right now that's sustainable. Everything is addressing and reacting to a situation.
That was Ed Lavandera reporting. The Biden administration confronted some criticism today over its handling of the influx. The administration is still trying to find a way to extend the controversial policy. Texas Governor Greg Abbott has called for the state attorney general to investigate whether nonprofit organizations have helped people cross the border illegally. Abbott claims he's received reports that the organizations may have helped orchestrate the crossings. Faith-based nonprofits have been quick to rebuke the claims, including Catholic Charities USA, which said this in a statement: "Our life-saving humanitarian work neither violates federal laws nor endangers communities. The federal government is fully responsible for maintaining the U.S. border and determines who enters the country." Hi, I'm Christine Persichetti, anchor of Currents News. If you like what you saw, please hit the like button on this video. And if you want to see more content just like it, subscribe and click on the bell for notifications. Thanks for watching, because we are putting your faith in the news.